good evening and welcome to Apex Esports League. A few hiccups tonight with iRacing crashing out on me. That is now all back up and running, so we will be joining over in the track and they will be getting ready to just about start the race. We'll cover our session details pretty quickly. So we are at Sebring International Raceway tonight for round 3 of the Pagnian Import Stock Car Brasil Cup. They're up for 10 minutes of probably 10 minutes of practice, which they've probably been through, 10 minutes of qualifying, then the race 40 minutes with the cars capped at 47% fuel, and weather conditions are mostly cloudy. Coming into round 3, we have Blake Urquhart leading the championship with 504 points. And last week's round at Rudskoga Motor Centre, we had David Baz qualify 4th, went on to take the race win, and Blake Urquhart, who took pole, also got the fastest lap bonus points. So we'll check out the track at the moment. It is the smaller variation in the club for Sebring, so it's 2.65 kilometers long, and it's going to be pretty hectic out there in these stock car Brazils. They can be a handful to try and master. Apologies for the delay. So I just got into the qualifying, so 10 seconds to go on the qualifying, so just scraping it in. Get some graphics up, so we won't be able to go for a hot lap around in the qualifying like we usually do. We've got 16 drivers registered for the session. And pole time is Blake Urquhart. It's not by much. 106.442 to a 106.469 from Damien Cross. So we're not going to see some correct paints as well. Trading paints has been causing all sorts of issues recently. See how it goes. Getting back up and running. Might be seeing some generic iRacing paints. Phil Buckland having some dramas at the end of qualifying. We might quickly take a look at those qualifying results, so we didn't get to see them actually do it. Blake Urquhart is our pole position driver, and then the rest of the grid will then be Damien Cross, Dave Arney, Callan Hodgkinson, Matthew Keane, Robbie Bradbury, Mark Cochran, Mick Clifton, David Baz, Dan Bartosh, Jackson Frewer, Russell Gander, Philip Buckland, Corey Brand, David Simmons, and then Stephanie Piccoli in P16. So a little bit of a mix-up in those results, so it's going to be an interesting race. So this different layout of the track making things a little bit more difficult. Session just booting over now, so we did make it very tight trying to get in before the race. And the club variation for Sebring is very different compared to the full international course. It's waiting on 3 drivers to grid up now. Those paints are downloading as we speak. So even the drivers in a practice session beforehand seeing some weird things going on, different people's paints on different cars. Okay, drivers have readied up.
Green.
Blake Urquhart on pole. There we go, seeing some different paints starting to label. Oh, there's chaos everywhere. See if It's going to need safety car. They all managed to recover pretty quickly. So they're just trying to get that track position in those first couple of corners. That was rather lucky. Fair bit of contact has gone on through the drivers. There's a lot of similar cars out there. Let's see if we can get some paints to refresh. See some. I think it's just me now. Pulling ahead nicely. There we go. Then we got some paints. Not for all of them yet, but it is coming. And buffer. Yeah, it's been causing some big havoc. To go and delete all the paint files just to try and be able to load into the session. Even after a full reboot, couldn't even get iRacing to load for this. I could get into a test drive on my own, but not with other cars. So hopefully their patch this Wednesday night might fix a few things. So it's going to be pretty hard to try and pick out which drivers are what until we start seeing some paints, and if we do. Again, by the looks of it, actually, I think it's a completely different car. 13, touch there. We don't even have a car number 13, because that's usually my car. So it's showing my car out there for someone at the moment. I have no idea who anyone is. There is some very weird things going on with iRacing at the moment. Damien Cross chasing down Blake Urquhart. Yeah. Damien Cross's car showing as car number 41, which is actually David Baz's car. But in fact is Damien Cross. Russell Gander showing as Steph's car at the moment, it's car 91. Robbie Bradbury just up ahead. It's going to have to be solely relying on telemetry data that's coming through to see who's where, as they are all well and truly mixed up. It's David Simmons, who we're watching at the moment, with Mick Clifton following very close behind. He did drop back a little bit from that contact at the start of the race. Gets around Simmons pretty quickly. Hey Blake, thanks for jumping on as well. Urquhart's holding that gap. Maintaining about 1 second. I think that pace for Cross is starting to drop. And it's likely we're going to see a little bit of difference in where they were stopping for fuel. With this layout of the track, it's going to be very different. This is where the variation of the track occurs. You can see the witches' hats blocking off that straight. So they turn off right towards the infield, and then they also have a separate pit area as well. There we go, so So we got two car 41s out there. So there's David Baz. And the real David Baz. A lot of sun glare as they come down under the bridge. Crew closing in on Cochrane. So we're seeing 555 on the paint for the car. Is Damien Cross's car number usually. So it's not just a standalone iRacing thing when we're getting incorrect names and numbers on the cars as well. That's iRacing stamping those cars for it. Coley's been in for a stop, showing 2 stops. So it's lap traffic getting around for Coley now. Burkhart's pushed that lead out 2.4 seconds now. His car's actually showing correctly. Oh, he's overshot that. Understeered straight out. That gap's going to be lost now. And he's going to keep struggling to try and pick up the pace for these next sections. Opportunity for Cross to try and get around now. Looks like Keane just made a move and got around Hodgkinson. And it's a big blink from Hodgkinson. He just vanished entirely for those couple of corners. And Matthew Keane's driving car is quite phenomenal. See, it's stickered JT with number 13 on the window. So him in this race apparently. So it's hilarious. We've seen a mix up of stuff going on. Bartish we hadn't seen be able to make it with us for a while. So it's good to see him back out on track. His car he appears to be driving. He's in David Simmons, number 157. Seeing his car. And he's taking on through at the moment. Some understeer from Bartish. It's going to let Phil Buckland close in. Car. They go flying past from that curb cam. What with Cochrane. That's Matthew Keane chasing him down. Such a bumpy track. Yeah, it's not confusing at all. Not at all, DK. But it is good to see me out there racing and commentating at the same time. Got a whole new skill going on now. Here's some screeching going on ahead. It's a loose car. It's going to be pretty rough on the drivers when they need to come into the pits as well. Hodgkinson's in the pits now. So with 30 minutes to go, it's within the pit window. It's going to be an undercut, and you can see a little interesting coming out from the pit exit. Cross starting to dwindle on that gap again. Dropped out by 0.3. A lot of tyre squeal coming around that corner. Drivers not taking tyres in the previous rounds. That may be a different story for tonight. Simmons just coming into the pits. We'll probably see a few more peel off now. Dave Arney's got a pretty quiet drive at the moment. He's 8.8 seconds away from race lead. He's got an 8-second gap to the car ahead, nearly 7 seconds, sorry, 7.1 to be exact. A few second gap over David Baz. It's got 5 seconds over Hodgkinson. Hodgkinson's been in and pit. Buckland in for his stop. Brand's been in. 10-second stop. The pace that Ergart's doing at the moment, I don't anticipate he'll be choosing to stop anytime soon. Run that out. It's a rear slide from Bartish. Throwing that cruise around. Clifton in for a longer stop. Timer actually going. I'm sure it's announced timing again. He is serving a penalty by the look of it. I think it was 15 seconds. He's taken the 10 seconds worth of fuel. Rejoins back in 12th position. Just scrapes in front of Matthew Keane. Hopefully Matty takes good care of my car out there as well. It's even actually the Chef Cruise. We have some recent antics with trading paints. We saw Commodore liveries on the Mustangs, vice versa, so it's been some interesting glitches going on over the last few weeks. Away nicely again now. Ross is going to probably have to consider trying to undercut here. The gap's still staying about the same between Arnie and Baz. Baz had some strong pace last week. Take debut win with the league. he breaks it, he bought it. Baz also had good pace round one, caught up with contact down Conrod. It's not a good start at Bathurst for him for round one. Currently running P4, 13.9 seconds away from race lead. Gaps closing in between Russell Gander and Mark Cochrane. The push to pass on for Mark Cochrane rounds up Gander easily, just in time for the corner. Those discs red hot, trying to pull that car up. You got an extra 100 horsepower into the car just from the push to pass. They can really catch you off guard. Oh, wide run. Lucky that was at the pit entry as well. So there's a little bit of off-track runoff. Lap traffic up ahead as well. Can't figure out which cars actually are, but results. We've got Philip Buckland, P16. Looks like a tow as well, because that's quite a large number for the pit timer. Simmons, P15. It's been in and stopped. Coley, one of these, I think it's the one with the push to pass currently on. Yes, car number 15 for Coley. Cochrane's car number. Yeah, Bucko was stuck in a wall. There's a bit of a clipping glitch going on for Buckland, unfortunately. Corey Brand just up ahead for Coley in P13. P12. So there's that pit entry. There goes Bartish. Mick Clifton, P11. He's been in for the stop. Ahead. Cochrane's just gone up 2 positions after pitting, and then as soon as it comes to a stop, drops back a couple of spots. Just shows you how much the track actually veers off for that second pit in this variation of the track. After that forced stop, comes back out P10. Clifton's gone off. Hodgkinson, one of the first to stop. He's running P9. Russell Gander straight up ahead in P8. Will need to make a stop, so he'll be easily taking that position. True, very close up ahead as well. Followed closely by Gander, and then even closer again is Hodgkinson. Goes for an inside move. He doesn't have the track position. The yield will take evasive, so he's evaded that out. He's carrying some pretty good pace, and there's going to be very difficult opportunities for a pass. So you do have to start sticking the nose in. But if you don't get that track position, it could be a costly mistake. Well, it's nicely executed by Hodgkinson. Takes P8 from Russell Gander. And up ahead, Jackson through a P7. Robbie Bradbury in P6. He's on the push to pass at the moment. So he hasn't had to use it too much. We've got 6 in the bank to use. And we're halfway through the race. Oh, he was carrying a lot of speed from that push to pass. And so we saw Cochrane get caught up a little bit as well. So the short course making it very difficult to try and utilise it. Bradbury being the first of the front drivers to actually come in for that forced stop. He's sitting 45 seconds behind the leader. Up ahead, Matthew Keane, P5. P4, David Baz. Looked like he just got around Dave Arnie. This is car number 700 off to the side of the track, but that wasn't Arnie. This is Arnie up ahead in car 93. Holding P3. They've been about a 3-second gap between himself and Baz for a while. That's starting to diminish now. A couple of errors, plus trying to navigate lap traffic. So maybe it's going to be a good time to come in and grab that fuel now. Damien Cross, P2. Lost that chase with Blake Urquhart, our race leader, but he's pushing a very good gap over Dave Arnie. So he's nearly extended that out to 9 seconds now. And Urquhart having led for the 20 of the 20 laps. His previous lap at 107.840. Fastest lap at 106.9. Oh, very loose. The car's going to be getting on the lighter end now. We're not seeing any drivers taking tyres. So it adds about 20 to 30 seconds for the tyres. So considering there's been a fair bit of contact, it doesn't look like it's been too disastrous. Even that's race start. There was a fair few cars going off track, but they all recovered and continued on. So I didn't anticipate we might have had a safety car after hearing the noise, seeing the smoke. Car lapping unknown person at this stage. That usually would be Damien Cross's car. Big blink out for Urquhart. It's completely vanished. So check out our incident reports too. Fair bit of netcode was going on in last week's round. And on tight tracks like this, you really can't afford any latency issues. This could end up disaster. Tiani did peel off and grab fuel, as did Keen. Baz stayed out. Which is expected, but he'd been closing that gap to Arnie for a while. Driving Corey Brand's car. Gets back out in P6. Bradbury moves up a position with the undercut, as does Keane. Cross coming in now. That's a fast stop. Not wasting any speed down pit lane. And still connection issues showing for Urquhart. Twitch chat even just decided to switch off as well for a moment. P2, 22.5 seconds away from Urquhart. It's for Urquhart's stop. He can't afford to be going for tyres if that was part of his strategy. And the field's being lapped up to position 7 at the moment. Urquhart about to round up Colin Hodgkinson in P7 now. Urquhart, the only one not to have come in for fuel now. And he comes now. Going to need to make this very quick. 33-second gap. Cross did well with his stop. Came back out in P2 still. He was half a second quicker in stop time compared to David Baz. And they had a few seconds where he was starting to close in. Rejoins in the lead, so it's now leading for the full 25 laps. We're on 26. Someone's hitting the limit up. Pushed past just up ahead. I think that's Mick Clifton's car. On a tow for Frewer. Big link for Urquhart again as well. Track lap 22. It's the last of data, so he might have actually just parked the car up. chasing a fair bit of a gap to Hodgkinson now. New 5 car that we saw going off wide before must have been Cochrane. That's the car that we just saw when focused on Mark's car. It's quite a lengthy stop for Dave Arney. 14.6 seconds. That's what cost him that time. And the positions to Keane and Bradbury. He had Baz chasing him down. Baz still picking up some pretty good pace. He's closing in on Cross. There's 8 minutes to go. We're seeing 1 minute 7 lap times. There's an opportunity to be able to close in and start looking for an opening to get around Cross. Race leader Blake Urquhart. It's going to be a real workout for the drivers. Master this thing around Sebring Club. You can see the good entrance there. Gosh, there's a little bit of dirt. Club variation here. Fast lap around. And Blake Urquhart. It's quite interesting. You can actually see the shadow of PR. Car, so it must be a specular map that's showing through. Spec maps on this car as well, which is rather interesting. So it's going to mix the two different cars. So they got the spec map from Matthew's car laid over, but still. On for both Bradbury and Arnie. Start using them up. So we only get 35-second use and then an 85-second cool down. And a red hot front brakes, trying to pull up all that speed. Opportunities to be able to utilise that push to pass, try and cover some extra ground before the final lap comes. Okay, gets around lap traffic nice and quick. Smart Cochrane straight in behind. Back up to position 7 again. They did get around Hodgkinson, but then after the leader's pit stops, he's now sitting at 55 seconds away from race lead. So 10 to 15 seconds, and the Urquhart will be closing in on P7 again. Buckland. He's got the Toyota paint on the Chevrolet Cruze. He's got only 12 seconds gap to Buckland behind. Show whose car that was. A lock from Brand. Minute 40 to go. Well, there's only 4.7 second gap to Bradbury. It's only a couple of corners away. It's going to take his little slip, and that gap can quickly disappear and lose position. That's looking great for a podium. It's going to do well for him championship wise too. He's making some ground back up from a win for round 2. So podium finish will be fantastic points. Seconds, little mistake at the hairpin from Blake Urquhart, but he's recovered it. He's got time to spare. He does not need to push this here. 5 seconds on the clock. He's got 18.6 second lead. Some white flags out. Hasn't got far to go. There's a flash of the lights. Slides that car through the corner. I'll show you his flashing if he was just checking himself out on stream potentially. So this was usually a Blake Gallen thing. We get him flashing when we'd be focused on. He killed himself on the eye. If you're still watching the stream too, Blake. And checkered flag goes to Blake Urquhart. Seeing some weird data. P2 will be Damien Cross. So it's not David Baz's car. Same coloured markings. Showing he's in the lead at the moment. That isn't the case. David Baz take third to secure the podium. That'll be fourth for Matthew Keane. Then we're going to be having some fun with their cars. It'll be P5 for Robbie Bradbury. Says Dave Arnie's racing Blake Urquhart, but he's not. Drivers celebrating, surviving Sebring by destroying what's left of their cars. So we'll take a look at these results now. There we are. 36 laps at Sebring International Raceway in the club variation, and our race winner is Blake Urquhart, and doing so by 21 seconds. So well done to Blake. And then in P2 is Damien Cross, and P3 is David Baz, and that's making up 6 positions as well. So doing incredibly well to be able to get through and gain those 6 positions, and only 5 seconds away from Cross in the end. So big catch up there. And the rest of our standings is Matthew King, Robbie Bradbury, Dave Arnie, Callan Hodgkinson, Mark Cochran, Russell Gander, Mick Clifton, Dan Bartish, Corey Brand, David Simmons, Philip Buckland, Stephanie Piccoli, and Jackson Frewer. Let's see if our drivers need waiting. Yes, we have David Cross there. And congratulations, Damien.
Yeah, thanks, JT. Blake's too quick again.
Yep. So you did another round. It did quite well for something you don't enjoy, overly enjoy racing.
Yeah. No, I do not like him. The start was good, but he just gradually pulled away. So
yeah, you're holding that gap for quite a while. You stick on his tail with 1 second for a fair few laps.
Yeah. And then he got away, and then he made a little error, and that closed the gap back up. But then he just gradually pulled away, and I thought, no, I'll just try and get to the end. I didn't realise David Baz was so close towards the end, but so
yeah, he came
I
in
started
quick.
Yeah, so I had to just sort of, okay, I'll better just try and get a little bit of a hurry up. So I started using those push to passes at the end. So
yeah,
but yeah, it was all good.
Might as well use them up. Not too many opportunities to be able to use it as well. I saw a lot of lockups coming down into those tight corners with all the extra ponies that they had running. So
well, if you used it down the back straight to the hairpin, you had a little bit of juice left over to get a good acceleration out of the hairpin. But by the end, she was wheel spinning, so you had to be a bit gentle with the throttle. Yeah.
And congrats, Blake. Done well.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
That was a pretty solid win, 21 seconds.
Yeah, she was a rocket, but, you know, she was a much of the drive, but I'll take it.
Yeah, jumped on board for a lap and just watching that steer and just seesawing each way non-stop, even on the straights.
Yeah, my wrist is so sore now. Yeah, my wrist is so sore now. I think that's me done for the week. Nah, good fun.
Don't have to worry about arm day this week now.
That's it. That's it. Had good fun tonight. It was actually it was a challenge around here actually. Just for these cars, like, you know, good combo, of course. Just because it's just like a little go-kart track, but with these monsters going around here, it's a bit bumpy.
It is.
Especially coming in the one. Yeah, especially coming in the one first lap. She got a bit squirrely, and I thought I tapped Damien, but I didn't. So That was good.
No, it was all good. I could see you there. So I got a good start this week, so I was happy with that.
Yeah, I was
Get
like,
bogged down.
I was happy because I was like, you had a good start, I had a good start, and I was like, uh-oh, lucky I've had insight. If I didn't, you had me.
Yeah, I knew you would have won the corner, so it was all good.
Yeah. But no, good race, mate.
Yeah,
P2.
no, as I said to JT earlier, you just too quick, gradually pulled away. So by the end there, I was just like, I'll just bring it home and take it easy. But I didn't realise that David Baz was closing in, so had to push a little bit. But I crashed into the pit wall going in.
Oh,
Did you
really?
get that? Yeah,
No.
I locked up trying to turn right to go in, but it just went straight on. And I crashed into the
Yeah.
barricade and had to put it in reverse and reverse back up, and it was terrible.
That's still up for P2. Yeah, I came in too hot. I locked up a little bit, but if anything, I got done speeding, but I didn't. So
Yeah.
she's
Must have
she's a good one to
saved
come in.
just in time. Yeah, it's a quick entry and out, isn't it? Very quick pit stop.
Well, that's why I pushed at the start, because I was like, I said I want to get that gap enough so we're second. If I got enough, because it's really hard to see. You can't really see it, and it comes up too quick. So you want to, I want to slow down for it. So I'll just push that gap out a little bit. I didn't start using push to pass until halfway through the race. I probably used one probably at lap 10, and then I was more at the end trying to go for the fastest lap. So.
Yeah, I saw that. You did a 6-7 at the end there. I thought that was
Yeah. I got it. I kept going quicker, and then I was going quick, and I got no boost left, so that was done.
Yeah, you had to go every second lap. It wouldn't let you, because the lap's so short. It wouldn't let you do it every lap.
Yeah. It's 85-second cooldown.
Yeah.
More than a lap.
Yeah. So you got to pick it wisely, I suppose. But I still had one left in the bag, so that was good.
That's
Yeah, I just used them at the end just to use them up. So it didn't help me, but.
I still had one more in the bag, but I was up too, but wouldn't let me use it, so I lost it. But nah, good race. Thanks, JT, and
No worries. Congrats on the results. They've done well. That's a clean sweep, isn't it? 106.908 fastest lap.
Yeah, so that should be.
Quali was good. I thought I had you at quali, but then you beat it twice, so I was like, oh, okay. Whatever.
Yeah. I thought I was done, but I was like, I reckon I got a little bit out of this. So.
I've done well, and it's going to be another tight one next week. At least it won't be as bumpy as Sebring. So it's Oran Park Raceway in the south layout. So it is a pretty good one in these cars. You can get a fair bit of speed in that variation.
Yeah, beautiful. Well,
at least it's not the daunting turn one that a lot of cars dive off into. So it turns.
I've never done a variation of Oran Park. I've only done the full track. So yeah, right, yeah, cool.
It's gonna be a good, interesting one.
Yep. Well, take me time. I think I've already got the championship lead, so I'll take me time with that.
Yeah, you'd have it. Yeah, you're doing really well.
Steady now. So you still get caught up in an incident and drop to the back.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. That's why I'll take it easy to see where everyone qualifies, and
because passing is going to be a lot harder, I think, for next week. It's about the only difference. So.
Yeah,
cool.
See how we go.
Congrats, guys, and
all right,
catch you later.
Thanks, JT.
Well done, Blake. See ya.
You too, mate.
Now we have our race winner, Blake Urquhart, and P2, Damien Cross. And then Dave Baz not jumping in the chat, so also taking podium in P3, and that's going to be pretty good for championship points for both Damien and David Baz. And then Blake Urquhart extending that lead as well. And then we will be back again next week on Monday night at the same time, except there is a bit of difference. We've got daylight savings time coming up this weekend, so that'll actually change things. So we'll be switching over to Australian Eastern Daylight Time, so it will be 7:30 PM AEDT. So if you're not in daylight savings time area, we will be an hour different to you guys, so do note that. And we will be putting out our results in the coming days, so check out our socials so you can see our standings and results from the race, plus the incident reports as well. It's probably going to be an extensive one with the tiny track that we had tonight, so it'll be interesting to check out. So do hang around and check out our Facebook pages for those as well. So thanks for tuning in tonight, and hope to catch you next week.